it got to a point where I didn't read my Bible for ages, and like for the first time ever, because even if I stopped reading my Bible, I would always pray, at
Yeah.
least before I sleep.
Okay.
But it got to the point where I just stopped praying completely. No
Wow.
reading, no praying.
Yeah.
And that went on for ages. Went on for a while. Um, and then every time I try to, resume it again, I just feel like I would just get blasted, like by everything just coming at me, or
All right.
like distractions or whatever, just to keep me down again. But then when I acknowledge that there's a very real spiritual warfare going on, I think that helps me to keep on going.
And how'd you get back into it? So you spend that long period of time not in your Bible reading, not in prayer. What practical way or step did you take to get straight back into it?
So the first thing I did was speak to my brother and Mark Moon,
Mm-hmm.
so my youth leader, and they explained to me, how serious are you about it? If you're serious about it, like fast about it, or if you're serious about it, you would actually sit and let God talk to you. And I think that's what it comes down to for everyone. How serious are you about it? Like some people will find that Facebook or Insta or whatever is distracting them in a bad way, or it's too, like, whatever it may be, that may be tempting you or leading you to waste time or to sin. And it's like, if you're serious about it, just delete it. But then don't go complaining that, oh, why do I keep doing this or that, if
Yeah.
you're not willing to take it seriously and cut out what it is that's doing that to you. So I think that was the biggest thing Mark Moon explained to me. It's very practical as much as it is, um, spiritual in terms of Bible reading and prayer. And I also just recently, like, went to my brother's house. This was like a couple of, like, last week, and I've just gotten some books to read. Like, oh, you can't see because
Okay.
I'm at the beach, but
Yeah.
like stuff like, and like
Yeah.
I always say, I think it's Charles Spurgeon who said it, but there are many good Christian books that you should visit, but ultimately live in the Bible. And um, none of this is obviously gospel,
But
and it should be. Yeah,
it's surrounding your life with it.
exactly.
Yeah. No.
So I've started reading that one, barely. So because I only got it like a couple of days ago. But yeah, I think just making yourself sit, read, and making yourself pray, and you realize um, that God never actually left you. You're the one that let go of His hand and ran away down some
Yeah.
other path, and
Yeah.
He's just there waiting for you to come back. So I think that's something that I battled with for a while, bro, a while, and until I realized that there's no point in me feeling sorry for me. Either do something or live a defeated Christian life where you get to the point where you're like 50, 60, and you're like, what have I done for God? Nothing.
And I think that's the major battle that every Christian faces. No matter how close you are to God and no matter how much you are in church, I think the big battle that Christians face every single day is your quiet time with the Lord, prayer, and your Bible reading.
Yeah,
I know for myself during this lockdown time, it hasn't been as strong as it should be. Um, and I think you're right in saying that the one way to get back onto doing it, there's no trick. It's just open it up, start reading, just do it, and then it comes every single day, and it's just you're right, it's a battle, it's a tough battle, but it's a necessary battle that you need to be fighting.
yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people I've spoken to will bring up that, even myself,
Mm,
I'll be like, I know I need to sit and read, but how do I sit and read if I don't want to sit and read?
yeah.
You know, but it always just comes back to just looking at yourself from like an outward perspective. Like, what am I actually doing? And every time I felt that way, um, I go back to Ecclesiastes and I read that. Mainly that, I don't know why, I find comfort in the last chapter
Yep.
where Solomon says, everything is meaningless, and he's just saying how useless life is. That we live to die, nothing, we do nothing. There's no point in anything, or what's the point of living, blah blah blah. And then just in um, the last two verses, and he says, like, hear the conclusion of the matter: to live your life, and obey God, and keep his commandments or something like that. Like
Mm.
just obey God and live for God is basically what he says. And I think that if the wisest man to live said that, then I should probably listen to that. So yeah, I mean, it was hard just having no desire to just sit and read. But when I realized how disgusting it is to just sit and live and do nothing for God and could just be going backwards and backwards and backwards.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, it's the Christian life is by no means an easy one.
No.
It's a constant battle every day from as soon as you wake up. And it's a spiritual warfare. You have to be aware that is real and going on every day. And you have to make sure that you're feeding the spiritual side more than you are the flesh to be able to win that battle every day.
Yeah. And I think you hit the nail on the head, bro. I think that is exactly it. And that is the way to live the Christian life and to fight this battle.